Hi, I began teaching online this summer for one of my graduate classes, Assessment and Diagnostics. And as I reflected throughout the course and after the course, there are three takeaways that I'd like to share with you. The first one is all about personal connection. During the first class session, I did, of course, have all of my students take some time and introduce themselves so that we knew who they were, where they taught, etc. However, after about the second class, I found that I didn't mind teaching online, but the personal connection that you normally create when you're in a face-to-face session just wasn't happening online. So I needed some way to try to make that happen in the online environment. Not only for myself, but so that my students would have a better classroom experience. So what I decided to do was a couple of different things. The first thing was I would share, just something about my week to, try to have that personal connection with me. I have a cat and a young son, and many times I would, bring them in and have them say hello, so that my students could, see that I was a real person and not just this online professor. And then finally, at the beginning of every class session, I'd ask my students to share, something about themselves. So, for example, we had one student who got married this summer, and she talked a little bit about her wedding. No, everybody didn't share every week, but we did take some time so that students who wanted to share did share, and that worked out better. So that was how I did the personal connection. I'll continue to work on that as I continue to teach online. The second thing that I determined was it was hard for me to determine whether or not students were getting the material because they're not always on camera. So I put together an end of the class reflection journal so that by 11 o'clock at that evening, students had to answer a couple of questions. What did you learn? What questions do you still have? And then I asked them to also talk about the online session, the structure of it. What went well, what didn't, what would you like to see more of, so that as I plan future lessons, I could plan them so that they were more engaging. And then I responded back to everybody's journal by the end of the following day so that they got immediate feedback. And then I could determine, all right, what do I need to focus on next week? Was there something that they didn't get? Did I need to follow up in an email with everybody, which I usually did every week, to clear up some misconceptions that they had? So that was my number two takeaway. And the last thing, and I created my class purposefully this way, is that I focused the online portion of my class more on application and less on lecture. So there wasn't a lot of me on camera talking at them. I mean, I did a little bit of it, just to deepen understanding of concepts that they'd learned in the flipped environment. But most of the time, they were working in groups or responding to questions that had them apply the information. And I think that they like this based on the feedback that I got. So I will continue to try to put together application types of classrooms in the future. Right? So those are my three takeaways. Hopefully they will help you as you develop your online course. All right? Thank you.